Okay, so finally. All right, so I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see the screen.
Loading.
Are you?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
You're able to see?
Not
No.
yet.
No.
Now we can see.
Now you can see.
Okay, all right. So once again, apologies for all the
Please don't.
don't.
slowness here. Okay, so let's start off again. I'll read the shloka again. Kathamukam. Brahma Rudrah Kumaro Harivarnayama Vanhirindrah Kuberashchandradityo Saraswat Yudadinuganaga Vayururvi Bhujangaha Siddha Nadyo Ashvino Shri Didiratiti Sudha Madaraschandikadyaha Vedas Tirtani Yajnaha Ganavasumunayah Pantu Nityang Grahascha. So, as I said earlier, he is propitiating all the devas here. So, if you see in the Padachedam, you have Harihi, Brahma, Rudra, Kumaraha, Varunaha, Yamaha, Vannihi, Indraha, Kuberaha, Chandraha, Adityaha, Vayuhu, Udadihi. So, these are some of the devas whom he propitiates, starting with Hari, Sriman Narayana, Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma, Rudra is Shiva, Kumaraha is Kandaha or Kartikeyaha, son of Shiva, Varunaha is Jaladeva, the god of water, Yamaha, the god of death, Vannihi or Agnihi, god of fire, Indraha, Magavan, the king of heaven, Kuberaha, who is Dhanapati, Chandraha, who is also called Somaha, the moon god, Adityaha or Suryaha, the sun god, Vayuhu, the Pavanaha or god of wind, Udadihi or Samudraha. So there is a Devata for each of this. Adhishtana Devata is there for Chandra, for Vayu, for Udadi, Samudra. So he propitiates all of these devas to begin with. He then also prays to Goddess Saraswati, Vagdevi, and he also prays to the four yugas. Yugani Krutadini. Kruta Yugam, Treta Yugam, Dwapara Yugam, Kali Yugam. Nagaha is Parvataha, mountains, Bhujangaha to the snakes, Pannagaha. Then he also offers his reverence to the Siddha Purushas. So like the Siddhaha, Siddhas are one who are born in the race of Devas, but who have extraordinary feat of perfection with some extra power. Second, they can do some additional things which ordinary humans cannot do. So those are Siddhas. Then he prays to the rivers, Nadyaha. He prays to the Ashwini Kumaro. He then prays to Mahalakshmi Shrihi, and then he prays to Ditihi, who is the wife of Kashyapa, the original mother of Daityas or the Rakshasas, and then he prays to Aditi Sutaha, the sons of Aditi, the wife of Kashyapa, from whom the Devas originated. Then Mataraha Chandikadyaha, these are the Sapta Mataras, or the seven mothers. Popularly, the Vaishnavi, Varahi, Brahmi, Maheshwari, Indrani, Kaumari, Chandika. So these are the seven consorts of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu again, Varahi, Brahmi or the consort of Brahma, Saraswati, Maheshwari, Parvati, consort of Shiva, Indrani, the consort of Indra, Kaumari, the son of Kumara, and Chandika, who is the consort of Shiva or Yama, also sometimes they say. So she is also addressed by Durga, Chamundi, and other names. So you see, he pays obeisances to all of these devas, the different entities. So in just what it means is, may the devas, like the Brahma, Shiva, Kumara, Bhagavan, Hari, Varuna, Yama, Vanhi, Indra, Kubera, Chandra, Aditya, Vayu, and Saraswati, the Yugas, the mountains, Mother Earth, snakes, siddhas, rivers, Ashwini, Mother Shri or Lakshmi, sons of Diti or Asuras, sons of Aditi or Devas, the 7 groups of mothers such as Chandi and others, the Vedas, the pilgrimage senders, the different Yagyas, the Ganas, the Vasus, the sages and the different planets, may they all protect me in writing this story. So that is the essence of this shloka. There are so many characters in the form of devas, yugas, mountains. He pays obeisances to all of these entities before even starting the work of panchatantram. So that is the invocatory prayer or the Mangala shloka. And once he does that, he then starts the next shloka. So the 7 mothers which I told are also provided in Vishnu Samhita as a reference. Brahmi, Maheshwari, Chaiva, Kaumari, Vaishnavi, Tatha, Varahyendri, cha Chamundi, Yamyeva Vai, Saptamataraha. Vishnu Samhita says this. And Kashyapa Shilpam also gives references to this Saptamatras. Brahmi, Maheshwari, Chaiva, Kaumari, Vaishnavi, Tatha, Varahi cha Tathendrani, Chamunda, Saptamataraha. So these are the popular 7 mothers of different gods, including Yemberuman, the Perumal, the Supreme Bhagavan. So he offers his obeisances to all of these, and then he proceeds further into the next shloka. Manave vachaspataye Shukraya Parasharaya Sasutaya Chanakyaya cha Vidushe Namostu Nayashastra Kartrubhyah. So here you can split this into different words. Manave Vachaspataye Shukraya Parasharaya Sasutaya Chanakyaya cha Vidushe Namaha Astu Nayashastra Kartrubhyah. So what he is trying to do here is Nayashastra Kartrubhyah means the modern sciences. So he's now praying, he's offering his prayers to the authors of the modern sciences, modern shastras, like Manave, Swayambhuva Manu, Vachaspati, who is Brihaspati, Shukraya, Parasharaya. Shukra is the Asura Guru, and Brihaspati is the Guru of Devas. Parashara Muni, Parasharaya, Sasutaya, and to his son, namely Vyasa. Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram Shaktev Pautrama Kalmasham Parasharatmajam. So Vyasa is the son of Parasharatmajam. Chanakyaya, Chanakya who wrote Arthashastra, and Vidushe amongst the learned. Vidushi means a scholar. Vidushe means amongst the scholars. Namostu, Namaha Astu, maybe revere. Nayashastra Kartrubhyaha, the contemporary authors of the different sciences, because these are also in usage in the contemporary times. So you can think that these are the contemporary saints or the contemporary authors to whom he is praying. So this is the second shloka. So first shloka he prayed all those entities. In the second shloka he is offering his obeisances to the modern science authors and saints. Sakalartha shastrasaram jagadis samalokya Vishnu sharmedam Tantre panchaviretat chakarasumanoharam shastram. So this is in praise of Vishnu Sharma. This small shloka is written. Sakalartha shastrasaram means, saram means the essence, the juice. So Sakalartha shastrasaram means all the sciences that relate to artha, wealth and science, shastra. So having experienced all of this, he takes the juice, the saram, jagati samalokya Vishnu sharmedam. So on this earth, he who was born, that Vishnu Sharma, he experienced a wide variety of experiences, shastras, and then in order for the people on this earth to become more knowledgeable, Samalokya, Vishnu Sharma idam tantraihi. He wrote this tantras or the different sections. So Panchatantra is divided into 5 sections: Mitra Beda, Mitra Lava, Mitra Samprapti, and there are 2 other. So there are 5 different sections. Panchabi Retat Chakara. He composed. Chakara means he composed. Sumanoharam Shastram. The beautiful Shastra called Panchatantra is what Vishnu Sharma actually wrote upon experiencing all the possible sciences one can experience on this earth. That is the meaning of this shloka in praise of Vishnu Sharma. So now comes the actual story. It's not even a story, it is a prelude. The stories will come a little later. Initially, you will have a lot of shlokas. Then you will have beautiful shlokas, beautiful stories to follow. So this is all like the prelude. So you'll have to bear with these shlokas and some of the introductory text that will actually set the stage for the shlokas, the stories that will follow later on. Asid Dakshinatye Janavade Mahilaropyam Namanagaram. Mahilaropyam, that was the name of the city. Janapada means it's more like a village folklore. So in the Dakshinatya, in the southern region of India, where there was this folklore called Mahilaropya, there was a city called Mahilaropya. Asit Tatra Sakalarthi Sartha Kalpadramah Pravaranrupa Makuta Mani Marichi Manjari Chayacharchita Charana Yugadaha Sakalakala Parangataha Amara Shaktihi Namaraja Bhabuva. So Tatra Bhabuva, who was there? Bhabuva means there resided. So we'll come from the end. Amara Shaktihi Namaraja Bhabuva. There was a king called Amara Shakti. Tatra, there. Yatra, Tatra. Yatra, where? Mahilaropye. Dakshinatye, Mahilaropye, Tatra. In that region of Mahilaropya, Sakalarthi Sartha Kalpadrumaha. So this is little a samasa to understand. Okay, so I will go through the various words here. You will have to diligently follow. Sakalarthi Kalpadrumaha. Kalpadrumaha. Drumaha means tree. Kalpadrumaha means a benevolent tree. Sakalarthi Kalpadrumaha. A Kalpavriksha tree which is generously providing wealth to everyone. So that Amara Shakti is being referred to a Sakalarthi Kalpadrumaha. It is a metaphor. So the Raja was so benevolent and generous that he was called Sakalarthi Kalpadrumaha. Pravaranrupaha, he was a very powerful king as well. Mukutaha Manihi Marichihi Manjari Chayacharchita. So what happened is, his crown, Mukutaha Manihi, it was studded with his gems. So that gem-studded crown, people used to offer flowers to it. Manjarim Chayacharchita, used to revere the crown with flowers. Who used to do it? Charana Yugadaha Sakala Kalaha Parangadaha. All his subordinates used to worship his crown. Okay, they used to worship his crown with flowers. Charana Yugalaha, and also his holy pair of feet. Charana Yugalaha Sakala Kalaha Parangataha. He was also a Sakala Kala Parangata, which means he was an adept at all these skills that one can know. So he had so many skills to count on. And Amara Shakti Nama Raja Bhabuva. His name was Amara Shakti, who lived in Mahilaropya, who had all these attributes or characteristics in him. Tasyatrayaha putraha paramadurmedasaha bahushaktihi ugrashaktihi anantashaktischeti namnaha babhuvuhu. So he had 3 sons. Paramadurmedasaha, they were extreme dullards, not just dullards, they were extreme dullards. Paramadurmedasaha, bahushaktihi ugrashaktihi anantashaktihi cheti. So the 3 children or the 3 sons of his, or Bahushakti, Ugrashakti, and Ananta Shakti, who were extreme dullards. They didn't even know anything. They didn't study, they didn't learn anything. They were extreme dullards. Those were his three children. Atha Raja Tan Shastra Vimukhan Alokya Sachivanahuya Provacha Boho Nyatametat Bhavadbihi Yat Mama Yete Trayopi Putraha Shastra Vimukaha Vivekahinascha Tadetan Pashyato me mahadavirajyam nasaukyam avahati. So what he did was, Atha Raja, then the king, thereafter the king, what he did, Tan Shastra Vimukhan Alokya, having seen his sons who did not even flourish, show any signs of improvement, having seen his unfortunate sons, what he did was, Sachivan Ahuya Provacha. He called his ministers. Sachivan Ahuya Provacha. He said to them, Boho Nyatam Yetat. Boho, hello all. You know very well. Nyatam Yetat Bhavat You know, it is all well known to you guys. Bhavat Yat, that Mama Yete Trayopi Putraha. You all of you know that my three children, Trayopi Shastra Vimukaha, they don't know any sciences. Vivekahinaha cha, they don't even have the discrimination in their head. Tat yetan pashyataha me, having seen all of this, Mahadavi Rajyam, even though I have a great kingdom to rule, Nasaukyam, I am not happy at all. I am not comfortable with all these three children of mine being extreme dullards who don't know any sciences, who don't even have common sense in them. They are totally useless. And he laments in front of the ministers. So that is the meaning of that. Atha Sadvidam. Am I going too fast or is it clear?
No,
Very
fine,
clear.
very clear and
You're
fine.
very specific and nice.
Enjoying, we are enjoying.
Atha Sadvidam Uchyate Ajatamritamurkhebhyah Vrutajato Sutau Varam Yatastau Svalpadukkhaya Yavajjivan Jadodahet. Sadvidam Uchyate. It is also well said. Ajatamritamurkhebhyah. Ajatamritaha Mritamurkhebhyah. So he compares the sons between those who are unborn and who are dead or foolish, either born or unborn. Ajata mritu murkhebhyah. Amongst the sons who are not born at all, or who are born and being foolish. Mrita jato sutau varam. The ones who die after being born, those children are far better. So some of the kids, they are short-lived. They are born and then they die. So he compares those who are not born at all, or the children who are being born and who die immediately. He compares them, these two categories, with his children who are extremely dullards, useless, fit for nothing. Yataha tau svalpadukkhaya. Because though these kids who are born and die soon, though they cause grief for a short moment of time, those children who are not at all born, even though it is grief for some time, Yavad Jivan Jado Bhavet. Whereas these sons of mine, Yavad Jivan, till I die, I have to witness the sorrow of seeing these foolish sons of mine. So he laments all of this in front of his ministers. One by one, he tells the shlokas, and he is actually lamenting that he is unfortunately having these three kids who are useless and fit for nothing. So he even compares them with children who are being born and who immediately die, or with children who are never born at all. To the parents, some children are never born. So even they are better off. Next, he laments some more things. varam garbhasravah varam rutushu naivabhigamanam varam jatah pretah varamapi cha kanyaiva janita varam vandhya bharya varamapi cha garbheshu vasatihi nacha vidvan rupat रूपद्रविण गुणयुक्तोऽपि तनयः वरं गर्भस्रावः means a lady is carrying a child, she is pregnant, unfortunately there is miscarriage, so the fetus gets detached from the uterus, so that is called garbhasrava. Miscarriage is better, he says. Varam rutushu naiva abhigamanam. Rutushu means a girl getting menses. So when the girl turns 13 or 14, she starts to develop menses regularly. Egg gets released in her ovary duct. So that is called menstrual cycle. So even if a girl does not have the regular menstrual cycle that she is supposed to have, so be it. He is happy. Varanjadaha pretaha. Even if a ghost, pretaha, a ghost is being born, varam, that is also fine. Varam apicha kanyai vajanita. Even better to know the girl who, even better it is to know a girl, an ordinary girl who is intelligent. That is what it means. Varam vandhya bharya. Even if a wife is infertile, she is not able to bear kids, so be it, no problem. Varam apicha garbheshu vasatihi. Even so, it is better if the fetus is still in the womb. Garbheshu vasatihi, it resides in the womb. Even the residing fetus in the womb is so much good. Nacha vidwan, but never, na vidwan, never a non-scholar. Rupa dravina guna yukto pitanayaha. Never ever the sons who are beautiful or handsome to look, Rupa dravina, who have wealth, guna yuktaha, even though they are virtuous, without being scholarly, it is of no use. So he says, even if there is a miscarriage, even if it is a female who is not menstruating, even if it is a dead baby which is born as a ghost, even if it is a girl, to know her, even if it is a wife who is barren, all of these things are far better than the sons who are being born with handsomeness, wealth, and even with virtue, so to say, but neither of them are scholarly. So the scholarly characteristic in the children far exceeds all of these troubles in humanity. So much he is lamenting. So much he is lamenting that he compares it with grave things in life. All these are grave things. If, let's say, if some miscarriage happens, isn't it grave? Yes, it is grave. Let's say if a girl doesn't menstruate at all for some health problems, isn't it grave? Yes, it is grave. But he is able to accept all of those problems, but not his own problem of 3 children who are actually dullards in life, who has ever remained dullards. So much frustrated he is. Okay, so that's the meaning of that shloka. Varamiha vasutamaranam amurkatvam kulaprasutasya. How are we doing on time?
We started late because.
What is the time right now?
2:40.
Okay, today I think we can only do panchatantram with the available time. Let's finish this.
Okay.
Varamiha vasutamaranam mamurkatvam kulaprasutasya yena vivudajana madhye charaja iva lajjate marujah. Varamiha vasutamaranam. In this world, iha means in this world, is the death of a son. Sutamaranam. Varam va. Is it better? Mamurkatvam kulaprasutasya. For never it should be that the murkhatvam, the foolishness, the birth of a foolish person, kula prasutasya, in a noble clan. So he questions now whether Sutamaranam, whether the death of son is better, or whether it is better to have a foolish son or foolish sons in a noble clan. Kula prasudasya murkhatvam yena vibudajana madhye jaraja iva lajjate manujah. Yena, by whom vibudajana madhye, vibudajana madhye, vibudaha means scholars. Because if this foolish person is born in the family, in some context when he is amongst the scholars, like there is a foolish person born in the house, as he grows up, at some point in time he will have association with some scholars, maybe. Yena vibudajana madhye, when he is amongst those scholars, jaraja iva lajjate manujah. Jaraja means what? Jaraja means a bastard, literally in Sanskritam. So Jaraja is a son born illicitly to a parent. Okay, one born to a paramour without proper legality. He is called Jaraja, equivalent of a bastard in English. Jaraja eva lajjate. So people will shame upon such a person, such a foolish person. They will shame upon him like a bastard. When that person is amongst the elite crowd. When he is amongst the elite crowd, those elite people will laugh at this stupid person, stupid children of mine, as though they are bastards. Lajjate manujah. So the wise people will make mimicry. They will feel, they will make a lot of, they will tease that person. So that is what he is lamenting here. Gunir gana gana narambena patati khatini sasambramayasya tenam bhayadi sutini vada vandya kidrushi bhavati gunir gana narambe. So gunihi means one who has very virtuous qualities. Gunavan iti gunihi, one who is endowed with virtues, gunas, he is called guni. Gunir gana ganaha, gana means a group or a collection. When amongst a group of scholars is what it means. Gunir gana gana narambe na patati, he doesn't fall. Khatini sasambramayasya. So gana narambe means while counting. Okay, so let us say in a group, in a gana, there is a group of people. Gana narambe, you begin to count who are all the intelligent people in this group. Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I keep counting. But let us say a person doesn't get counted when counting in a elite crowd. All are gunis. The group is a guni crowd. All of the crowd is considered as scholarly. But in such a scholarly group, when one counts how many scholars are really there, and if one is not counted, na patati, kathini sasambramayasya. So it becomes a very difficult situation that arises then. Tenamba yadi sutini vada. So such a mother, if she is carrying that person, had he carried, if let's say one person is not counted in that crowd, then that means that person is not a scholar. It means so evidently, because people are not counting him, so he gets left out. So if he gets left out, he is not a scholar in the scholarly crowd. That's the inference. So if such an inference is drawn, it becomes a very shameful situation. Because when that mother of him who is not counted is questioned, yadi sutini, whether you carried that person, whether you gave birth to that person, Vandya Kidrashi Bhavati. She says, no, I am infertile, she says. So this is a very tricky way of putting. If a person is not counted amongst the elite, then it is as though that mother did not give birth to him. You got the situation here. So it's a very poetic way of putting it. But all these poetic ways of putting it are actually lamentations by the king, who is lamenting that his children are all extreme dullards. Parama Durmedasaha was what was told in the beginning. So that is what he is lamenting here. And that is where we had stopped actually. So every time we will just take about one shloka or maybe read it. This is just a summary of what we had been following through Panchatantra. So in essence, this king Amarashakti had these three sons whom he wants to somehow ensure that they get wise. And so in that effort, he comes across Vishnu Sharma, and Vishnu Sharma actually trains these three dullards, making them very scholarly in their later lives. That is the story of Panchatantra. So with that, I think we will bring an end to this session of today. I don't know how much time we are now.
5 to 6 minutes to go.
5 more minutes we have. So I think we can just stop our live session once.